In previous video, I have committed that I will explain you how to prepare financial statements using the IFRS rules. So I have a template for just overview. Here is the journal entries, trial balance, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, and this is the chart of account. So let's begin, guys. I'm going to start. First, we have to know what is IFRS and what is the definition and where we pass the entries under IFRS, IAS, International Accounting Standards 1, presentation of financial statements. Definition: set overall requirements for financial statements, classifications, disclosure and equity, other comprehensive income presentations. The journal entry: transfer of profit, fair value gain recognized in OCI, other comprehensive income, dividend declared. This means that in under IAS presentation of financial statements, we have to know which entries are moving to this rule. Let's suppose sets overall requirements for financial statements, classification, disclosure, and equity, other comprehensive income presentations. All the entries related to this definition will move on the IAS rule. On the other hand, IAS 16, property, plant, and equipment, covers recognition, depreciations, and disposal of property, plant, and equipment. Related to this definition, all types of entries are moved into the IAS 16. Let's suppose purchase of property, plant, and equipment, capitalized major repair, depreciation of purchase plant equipment. On the other hand, IAS 16, impairment of assets. Definitions shows requires entities to ensure assets are not carried above recoverable amount if impaired. Recognize loss. This definition shows the all type of entries move into the IAS 36. The journal entries: goodwill impaired, property, plant, and equipment impairment, impairment of intangible assets. Guys, you have the knowledge related to the intangible, tangible, and the goodwill impairment. You have to study in it. IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customers. What is the revenue from contracts with customers? If you, I think I will explain you each of IFRS rules one by one separately in this video. Further, I will let you know how to prepare what is IAS 1, what is IAS 16, IAS 36. I will prepare individually one by one these videos for 5 to 6 minutes or 7 minutes, that you know what is this. In this video, I will just go through you how to prepare financial statements regarding the IFRS rules. Revenue from contracts with customers establishes principles of revenue recognition based on transfer of control of goods and services. Now, the journal entry, advance payment before delivery, revenue recognized when work completed, cost incurred for project, unbilled revenue. These types of entries are moved in the IFRS 15, and the main thing is the definition establishes principle for revenue recognition based on transfer of control of goods and services. You have to uh, know, you must you must study these definitions deeply, then you know how to prepare the financial statements when we want to generate under IFRS rules. IFRS 16 leases requires recognition of right of use assets and lease liabilities for leases. Rules for leasers. Who is the leasers? Leases, right of use assets. You have to know, then you can create the statements properly and confidentially and confidently. Initial lease recognize. I have just passed a little bit entries for your clarifications. Initial lease recognitions, lease installments, payments, depreciation of ROU assets. And then what is the IFRS 9 financial instruments? Governors, classifications, measurement, impairment, and de-recognitions of financial assets and liabilities. Investment in bonds, coupon, interest received, FV changed, FV fair value, change in investment. Now I'm going to move ahead for the better understanding. First, I have create a chart of account, what expenses or related things I have generated in the chart of account, the most needed. First, I add in the chart of account cash, contract liabilities, revenue, cost of sales, inventory payables, contract assets, financial assets, interest income, OCI reserves, impairment loss, allowance for ELC, ECL, financial assets, gain on disposal, ROU assets, lease liability, finance cost, depreciation expense, accumulated depreciation, ROU assets, property, plant, equipment, cash slash payables. If the I purchased on credit terms, then I have created a payable account here, but I didn't mention any specific person name here. Accumulated depreciation, PP, accumulated depreciation, revolution. surplus, impairment loss, goodwill, reversal of impairment, intangibles, profit or loss. Profit or loss, it's a closing account entry, retain earning, equity, dividend payables, and the other hand, I have created a account head, which is the asset, which is the liability, which is the income, expense, payable, other comprehensive. In this requirement under IFRS rules, profit and loss statements requires the comprehensive income within the profit and loss statement. Root type, which is the asset for balance sheet, P&L statements, like a cash flow statements, which is the account belongs to which. Now I have passed some entries for the now I have passed some entries for the clarifications. I'm moving forward to the journal entries. Reference: advance payment before delivery under IFRS. Why I have written here under IFRS? I'm going to IFRS sheet revenue. Advance payment before delivery. Here I mentioned advance payment before delivery, cash paid, contract liability, credit, thousand. On the other entry 15, revenue recognized when work completed. It's also an IFRS 15 rule entry because the rules definition ask me establishes principles for revenue recognized based on transfer of control of goods and services. Here, the cost incurred for project, cost debit, inventory payables credit, unbilled revenue, contract assets revenue. Now I have passed the total related to the rules entries. IFRS 9, investments in bonds, coupon, unrealized gain on FV, expected credit loss recognized, impairment loss, disposal of bonds. Here is the cash 12,000, other comprehensive income reserves 100, financial assets 1,000, gain on disposal. When the income increase, it will be credited. You have to know the rules. What is the credit, what is the debit, when it will be debited and when it will be credited. You have to study before the preparing financial statements. Now all of entries I have passed in it related to the financial statements, disposal on property, plant and equipment, revolution surplus, impairment losses, goodwill, impairment losses, reversal of impairment, intangibles, retain earning, profit or loss account. I have closed here the profit and loss account debit, retain earning credit. Now I have linked this for trial balance. I have linked the trial balance with the journal entries. Here is the accumulated depreciation, debit, credit balances. All are here, the debit and the credit here. Now I have linked these for the financial statement purpose. Which one goes where? I have created these entries manually. Like here, I will show you income statement. I never linked with the trial balance. If you want to link this one automate, then you have to view my video automation, accounting automation in Excel. Then you can able to do this, how to automate financial statements with the trial balance. Now I have linked all the accounts where which which accounts goes to where. Income statement, revenue. I have here revenue in the trial balance. I will show you the revenue is 800 in the income statement. Interest income 50. Gain on disposal, gain on disposal 7,700. Reversal of impairment 150. Reversal of impairment 150. Here is the reversal impairment 150. It will easy when you linked your income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statements with the trial balance. And the other entry, the total other income is 900, the total revenue 1700. Cost of sale, here is the 400. Cost of sale, cost of sale, let me find the cost of sale. Here is the cost of sale 400. I have picked these values manually one by one from the trial balance. Just I'm going to I want to show you how to link these values from the trial balance. That's why I have created here with linking this account, this account with the chart of account table 2. I have created here. Let me clear you one thing. We look up this comma from the chart of account. F4 for fees, comma. Here I want to generate an income statement that I need account to be 2, comma 0 true, bracket close, enter. Here is a contract. Now copy and paste selected cells. All accounts are here created like a P&L statement. Which account goes to where? This they were our balance sheet items. They were our profit and loss statement items, which one other comprehensive income items. Now, here is the income statement, finance cost, impairment loss, additional impairment loss. Here I have a negative 860 profit and loss before tax. Other comprehensive income shows me that revolution surplus 600, revolution surplus, here is the revolution surplus 600, here is the revolution surplus 600, here is the revolution surplus 600, there is 600 equity, other comprehensive income 100, other comprehensive income reserves negative 100. Why is the negative? We want to move to here, note here, reserves. This one I have balance 100. That's why I have credited the 100. Here I have the positive value, so I show you negative here for actual result. Now the total comprehensive income negative 260. On the other hand, we were on the other hand, I'm going to move the balance sheet statement. Now here is the company, this is the format. If you want that format, I will send it to you. If you need assets, property, plant and equipment, ROU, financial assets, goodwill, non-current assets item, current asset items, cash, contract assets, intangible, allowance for ECL, inventory. I didn't have any inventory, so I mentioned here zero. Total assets, here is the contract liability, dividend payable, inventory payable, cash payables. Cash payable, I have passed the entries. If you remember, I have passed the entries uh, in the journal where I didn't mention the supplier name. Here I have I Here I have payable amount 2000 for the purchases purpose. Lease liability, retain earning, profit and profit or loss. I have shifted into the retain earning when I close the profit and loss account. Equity, revolution surplus, other comprehensive income reserves. Now the total capital and reserves are 3050. Total capital and liabilities, this value and the total assets and the liability and capital reserves are equal. The difference is zero. Now the final statements are, now I am moving the final statement. Now I am moving the cash flow statements, how it will be prepared and what is the function and what's the function of the cash flow statements. Number one, you have to know what the items Number one, you have to know what the items are related to the cash flow statements. Cash flow from operating activities, cash flow from investing activities, cash flow from financing activities, cash and cash equivalent, cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year, increase slash decrease in current assets. Now, negative is equals to increase, positive is equals to decrease the cash in the cash flow from operating activities. Contract assets 200, inventory payables 400, financial assets 1100, allowance for ECL, impact on cash. When the positive, it will decreasing the cash. When the negative, it will increasing the cash. This is the impacts. Now here is the vice versa when we used net cash used in operating activities. Increase decrease in current liabilities. Positive is equals to increase, negative is equals to decrease the cash. Here negative increases, positive decreases. Now here in liability section, current liability section, positive increases, negative decreases the cash. Contract liability 400, it means it it's decreases the cash. This is the increasing the cash. Here is the negative, but this is a payable. Now the when the cash impact shows you increasing dividend payables. Here didn't I have the dividend payables. Lease liability, it's also decreasing the cash. Net cash used in operating activities. Now, this is the depreciation expense, finance cost, impairment loss, P&L, reversal of impairment, gain on disposal, interest income, profit or loss. Net cash used in operating activities. Now, here is this is the sum of operating activities. When the negative shows, it means the cash increasing. Cash flow from investing activities. Here I have invest property, plant and equipment 1300, ROU assets 5500, intangibles. Sign negative means decreasing the cash, positive means increasing the cash under cash flow from investing activities. Net cash used in investing activities. Now, here is the sum. Cash flow from financing activity. Cash flow from financing activities. Lease liability 500, 5120. If this is the new lease, I assume this is a new lease, that it's increasing the value. Cash impact increasing. Dividend paid, I didn't have any dividend. Retain earning 600, decreasing the cash. Equity, other comprehensive income, negative, decreasing the cash. Other comprehensive, other comprehensive, other comprehensive income reverse, other comprehensive income reserves, other comprehensive income reserves, increasing the cash. Net cash generated from used in financing activities 4,520. Now, the final step, cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year. Opening cash, here I didn't have any opening cash. I didn't pass any entry for the opening cash. Net change 50,000, 5,000. Net change. Now, how to calculate net change? I have sum all these accounts accordingly, then it will show me the 5,050. Now, in further classes, I will explain each of statements thoroughly w- with examples, with deep understandings, and all uh, and the all accounts in it. Now the closing cash I have 12,050. I didn't have the previous year, so I didn't have opening cash. Now this is a closing cash for the next year opening cash. Here you maybe little bit understand how to prepare the financial statements under IFRS. Now you need to know what is these are and what the purpose of this rules. If you if you if you want, I will in further classes I will also show you what is IAS 1. I will prepare the lectures for this accordingly under one by one rule with definitions. I will explain you each of everything what definitions means with examples. I will show you with examples set of overall requirements for financial statements. What is this mean? Sets overall requirements for financial statements. You read this just financial statements. Classification, what is classification? Disclosure, what is disclosure? And equity, what is equity? Other comprehensive income, what is other comprehensive income? Presentations, like I learn you in further classes through one by one step what the purpose of this step and the work of this step. In this class I just show you how to prepare the financial statements using these rules. IFRS trial balance I have prepared here, income statements, balance sheet, and also cash flow statements. Thanks for watching.